is over.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Insiders, and we are here for our post-Extreme Rules show. Just coming off the pay-per-view, of course. It ended about a half an hour ago, and we are here to say hi to everyone. Welcome in. Hope you all enjoyed Extreme Rules. Firstly, I wanted to just say that I want to say hello to Brandy. Brandy did send a little audio clip earlier, but unfortunately, when we do live things, it's hard for us to translate that in as fast as it is. So I know Gary did that last week, and it took us a long time to get that in there. So unfortunately we could not play that. It was basically like a greeting from her. So again, shout out to her. Things kind of up and down a little bit still. She said she has pneumonia now. So obviously, keep her in your thoughts and prayers as well as we are. As always,
we love you, Brandy.
Yes, absolutely. I've got Jeff, my co-host, is here, as well as Jodie is in the house. We are ready to go. So what did you guys think of Extreme Rules? Let us know in the chat. I'm going to kind of say hello to people here. Let's see. We've got Moda. Moda's in the chat. Hello. How are you? We got famous KJ Carter. How are you tonight? Hope you enjoyed the show. We've got Big Boy in there as well. Hello to you. We've got Dave's fan in there. What's going on, man? We got Warren. How are you? We've got Jake. How's it going, Jake? We got Joseph Mengadot. I hope I say your name right, man. We say hello to you. DJ B Tazzy, welcome, man. Glad you could join us. I think DJ's doing a little after party tonight as well. So if you kind of want to head over there, I think he's got something going on a little bit later on, about 11:30-ish, if I'm correct. But welcome in to you. It's been a long time since he's been able to be in the chat. Eric Haberman says, wow, it was awesome. Dave's fan says, what a show. Sincere Meteor, welcome to you. It was pretty cool. I was disappointed in only two things during the pay-per-view. Loved the show, especially the Swamp Fight. We're going to get into that. John says, hey, guys, what's up, man? Kyle Martin says, hey, how are you? Dave in real life. Hi, guys. Now, that was a pay-per-view. All right. Dave obviously enjoyed the show. Bobby Garton, hello. Please watch the video on my channel, he's saying. Chris says, hey, what's up, man? How are you? We got, who else do we have in here? Trinard 2000, how are you? Welcome to the show. Queen Yaya says, I loved it. All right. Excellent. Awesome. General Snotty Naughty, love the name. Great show. Great show.
That's amazing.
That is. I love it. DJ B Tazzy says correct. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so there you go. DJ B Tazzy will do an after show tonight around 11:30. So check his show out as well. John says this show was like a 9 out of 10 for me. Okay. All right. So, you know what? Let's start there, shall we? Let's just get some thoughts overall, what we thought of the show. And then we'll kind of break things down. Now, I will tell you guys ahead of time, we're not going to go into a huge amount of detail on the Bray match. We'll talk about it a bit, but we're not going to go into a huge amount of detail because teaser, we have a show tomorrow night that we are going to do that on. If you are new to the channel, we have Abby's Window on every single Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we will delve into all of the theory and everything like that we saw or that we thought of from that Swamp match tonight. We will go over the results, obviously, a little bit and talk about it a bit, but we're not gonna dwell on that tonight because we're gonna go over that in detail on tomorrow night's show. So. Again, welcome to everyone. Welcome if you are new to the channel. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Of course, like the video. It helps us out a lot. If you are joining us from the other platforms out there, which I can see some of you are, Periscope, Twitch, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you like the page. And also, we have some people from Facebook. So welcome in to everybody. So yeah, I'm going to go over to Jeff right now. I'll turn it over to you first, man. What did you think overall of Extreme Rules?
I actually liked it. I thought it was a really good really good pay-per-view. Obviously, some things I wish would have been a little bit different, and I know we'll get to it. It just seems like WWE really enjoys having great matches in the ring and then really crappy finishes at the end. So,
Yes,
that's
yes.
my takeaway from tonight. There were some really good matches, and then there were a couple great ones. And then the finishes to some of those matches were probably some of the dumbest things I've seen in quite some time in professional wrestling.
Yeah, man, I have to agree with you, and I'll get to Jodie in a second. I feel the same way. I thought the wrestling itself was very good. I thought it was, I really enjoyed it. But I just, the endings to some of these matches was just really poor writing. It really was. I don't know like what's going on because I know they changed the writing team, they changed writers up with Bruce Pritchard obviously taking control, and but I don't understand where the writing is going here. I get that this is a filler pay-per-view. I understand that. I get it as a kind of a bridge to SummerSlam. But I just don't get like where some of these things went, and we'll talk about it match by match. Trenard says you guys are cutting out. I hope we're not still doing. I'm hearing background noise somewhere. I hope we're still not cutting out. So let us know, please, if the sound is bad.
We're good.
Okay, cool. Let us know if the sound is okay. I appreciate that, Trenard. Thank you. He says all good now. So yes, sorry about that if we were cutting out. So yeah, I feel the same as Jeff. I didn't like the ending of some of the matches. Little crazy. Of course, the women's match with Bayley and Sasha was just really weird. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. So let's get Jodie. What did you think overall of the pay-per-view?
It's funny. Me and my husband are sitting outside at the moment, and we were talking right before we started, and we kind of said the same thing that you guys said. Like there were some really good matches, and we were sitting there during the matches. Wow, this is a really good match. And then the endings happen, and you're like, what the hell just happened? So yeah. I'm right on board with you guys. Like there were some really good matches until the end of them, and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
that was dumb.
Yeah, I agree. I just, just from start to finish, the matches were really good. Like the Seth match, obviously, and Ray. I know Joseph just commented on that. Seth and Ray worked tremendously together tonight, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. The match was great. But again, the ending just, since you brought it up, Joe, let's just start there, right? Let's just start at that eye for an eye match, because that was one of the big ones that we were talking about coming into the show, and one of the ones that everybody was looking forward to the most. I got caught a little bit off guard by it because I was thinking more cinematic. I was thinking, because that's what everybody was saying. Yeah. It was going to be a cinematic match. Now, I get it. They use cinematic details because obviously when, the end happened and then you saw the close-up of Ray and all that kind of stuff, they were using the camera in and out and all that kind of stuff. So there was some in there, but I honestly thought it was going to be more of a cinematic match. I guess I maybe got a little confused thinking that it was going to be, maybe not inside of a ring. And maybe they're going to have something else happening there. So it caught me a little bit off guard when they came out to the ring because I didn't expect that. But, yeah, just great match between the two of them, going back and forth and trying to grab all the tools and stuff to try to pry the other person's eye out of their head, and all the various things that they were using. And then Ray, of course, got the worst of it at the end and was kind of just laid out. And then, the ending of it, they just did the same thing that Seth had done to him before, with the ring steps, so all in all.
It was the same eye, right?
No, I think he had a patch over his left eye before. So this was the right eye now.
Oh.
But yeah, I just, all the buildup and everything like that. And again, to me, and this is kind of the theme, is that the matches were great. but the ending just was, just not good. Like I didn't get why they ended it this way. It was the same exact way it ended before when Seth blinded him before. And I don't know, I sent the close-up picture out to you guys on Twitter, so I don't know if you saw the close-up picture, but you can see the glass eye there. It's really bad. You can see that it's a fake glass eye. Absolutely.
It was the same eye.
You know,
it was the same eye.
Oh, I thought. Trinard says okay, so it was the same.
The same eye.
Okay, well that doesn't make much sense, but okay. Yeah, all right. Well, then I guess they can kind of say, well, then they started it out already, and it was maybe already half out. I don't know. I was talking to Jeff beforehand. I don't know where this goes now. Like, obviously, the thing with Ray and Seth is done. But where does this go now? What direction does this go in? I mean, now are we going to lead up to, Ray's son coming in, Dominic, and is he going to take over? And is he going to feud with Seth next? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where this is going to go. Obviously, Ray is out for God knows how long. He might be done for a long time. But yeah, I just don't know. But I like Jeff said, I didn't like the ending. I thought it was a great match, but I didn't like the ending. Just did not like the ending. Jeff, what did you think of the eye for an eye match?
I thought it was really good. I mean, I felt like Seth and Ray really did a tremendous job of storytelling, and I thought that the wrestling was really good. But, again, to the ending, I mean, this one I didn't have so much of a problem with. I know a lot of people didn't really like the ending of this one. I don't have as much of a problem with it, but at the same time, I think, we were all expecting something cinematic. So I was thinking that maybe we'd get some type of cool effect or something like that at the end. But yeah, I liked the match, but the finish was a little to me. So
Big Boy says, I thought we were getting a bar fight. No, that got put off until SmackDown. So that's going to be on SmackDown this coming week. That was another weird thing I thought they did too, is they kind of took two matches that a lot of people thought we were going to get. Big Show and Randy Orton also is going to happen on Raw, and they pushed the bar fight back to SmackDown. So yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there, but they did, take that almost. Big Boy said Seth vomiting almost made me vomit because I was having dinner while watching. Poor dude, man. I feel bad for you, dude. Yeah, that was not.
I'm like, dude, you're about to have a baby. You need to have a stronger stomach than that.
Yeah, that was not a good. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he probably had some kind of garbage in his mouth that he kind of just pretended he was throwing up. But yeah, that was not a fun sight to see if you're eating dinner. I feel bad for you. So yeah, what did you think, Jodie, of the eye for an eye match?
I mean, just like you guys, I thought it was, a good match until the ending. And one of the things, if you guys remember when we did the prediction one, was please, dear God, don't let this ending be cheesy. And that's exactly what it was. I was like, oh no. Like, I finally got to see a picture of the close-up of the eye. And I was like, no, that was like see a horror movie. And yeah, I was expecting a cinematic match too, so I was a little taken aback by that. But it was a good match up until the end.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we're going to see a theme here because, yes, similar stuff going on in some of the other matches. Let's get to one of the women's matches. Let's talk about Nikki Cross going up against my favorite in the world, Bayley. Yeah, let's talk about Nikki Cross and Bayley, shall we? Obviously, everyone kind of predicted this one. I know when we did our prediction show, everybody was saying that they expected Bayley to win. I expected Bayley to win as well. So I don't think anyone was really surprised that she retained. And of course, she's very heelish in retaining. Have the old brass knucks come in there at the end in the form of Sasha's jewelry. Used it on Nikki Cross. Now, a lot of times when they use those, they kind of use it in the head. So the gut punch was a little bit differently. I haven't seen that done very much, but yeah. So obviously, Bayley cheats to win.
Shocker.
Yeah, look, I get where they're going with her character. I mean, it's just, they're just trying to make her the person that you just can't stand.
Well, they're succeeding. So
yeah, with me, they're doing a good job. I'm just over Bailey. I'm really just over Bailey. Listen, I understand why they're doing what they're doing with them, because they're kind of down bodies. And we don't know the status on a lot of other people that we haven't seen. So obviously Bailey and Sasha are making the rounds, kind of like Charlotte did. And again, this was an entertaining match. I listen, I love Nikki Cross's energy. I really do. I think the announcers played off of her a little bit too, and kind of came off as kind of saying that, hey, is she just out there using up her energy too fast? Is she going to kind of run out of energy? So with her, they can kind of do that. And I kind of like that. I kind of like how they were going with that, and making it a direction where they kind of showed that Nikki was, coming on too quick, and that, if she doesn't beat Bailey early, she's probably going to run out of steam a little bit. And that's kind of the way they built it up. So, again, this one was good. Again, good match. I enjoyed the match. Obviously the ending was no shocker at all. I had expected Bailey to retain. Dave says Bailey doing heel moves to win and retain. Really don't mind this ending. Still a massive Bailey fan. I guess you meant to say Dave. Sorry, Joe. That's cool, dude. Everybody likes who they like. That's why we're all here, right? We all have our own opinions. I just don't get Bailey as a heel. I just don't. I don't know. I get how they're trying to play up that story, and have her turn that direction and turn that corner. But I don't know. I just don't see it. Like I said, she just comes off as being emo to me, and I just don't dig it. Sincere Media says I should have sent in my ID to have Seth heel raise eye and declare himself, saying, "Behold the Monday Night Messiah." Yeah. I don't know. They can use some help with some writing. They can use some help. Says also Nikki is a future star and champion, in my opinion. Hopefully Vince sees that too and not waste her talent. I agree. I like Nikki. I think she's got a lot of personality. She's a lot of fun to watch. She kind of reminds me of like a, I don't know, like go back to comic books. She kind of reminds me of a Hulk character. Like she kind of hulks out and just goes crazy in the ring. So, listen, I like Nikki, and I hope I agree with you. I hope she's got a bright future as well. Jodie, what did you think of the Bailey and Nikki Cross match?
Well, I mean, it pales in comparison to what Bailey did later, but again, it was one of those matches. I thought it was a decent match because I loved Nikki Cross until the ending, and you're like, oh, really? I mean, we knew that Bailey was going to retain, but here's how I feel about Bailey. If she was on her own, she might be okay. She might be a semi-decent heel. Like, I could believe it. But when you got her next to somebody as good as Sasha Banks at being a heel, it just pales in comparison. Sasha's so good at what she does that Bailey looks like the sidekick. And I think that's what they're trying to do, is make Sasha look like the sidekick and Bailey look like the star, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good point. Good point. We just had a bunch of people join us. Welcome. Kevin Correa, welcome. Dalton Riley, welcome. Let's see. Monica King. Hello, Monica. How are you? Welcome into the show. Sunny Wolf just joined us as well. Welcome to you. Sincere Meteor says Hulk plus Harley Quinn equals Nikki Cross. That sums her up pretty much. Yeah, that's a good one. Good comparison, man. Jeff, what did you think of this match?
I really didn't mind this match at all. I thought that Bailey and Nikki had a really good match, and the ending, I mean, that's just a heel ending.
Mm-hmm.
Textbook.
That's a throwback. Yeah, in terms of an ending. Just a heel ending, getting the help of an ally to overcome the opponent. I mean, just classic heel stuff. I I know you guys aren't real big on Bailey. I actually like her as a heel. I'm not going to say that she's my favorite or anything like that, but I think when we look at heels, I mean, one of the things that we're supposed to do is we're supposed to get that emotion of not liking them and they're annoying as crap, and we want them out of off our TV and all that good stuff. Well, Bailey's doing that because she's polarizing everything that's going on um, right now. I mean, she's really polarizing. So, yes, I mean, she's annoying, but that's exactly what she's supposed to be right now. She's supposed to be annoying. She's supposed to get under our skin. And she's done a good job. And honestly, if you look at the contrast between her as a face and her as a heel, I honestly thought that she couldn't pull off being a heel when she first made the turn. Now I'm like, I'm really glad that she made the turn, because for me, she was a little bit stale as a face. The whole hugger thing kind of got to me. So where you guys don't like her as a heel, I was getting kind of tired of her as a face.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Great shout out. And a lot of people in the chat agree with you. Look, you're right. I mean, maybe liking her a little bit, I guess, to King Corbin. A lot of people hate King Corbin. But,
I love King Corbin.
Well, yeah, I think you're in the minority a little bit there. So, yeah, I don't think too many people like King Corbin. But if you liken them to that, and a lot of people that talk about these guys outside of the wrestling business, so people that do the wrestling, obviously like Sports Kita, talk like that, when they talk about these heels, they always give them credit as to what they're doing. So, it's a great shout, great counterpoint by Jeff. I agree. I can't argue with that at all. I mean, she is getting on my nerves. So if that's what she's planned on doing, then hey, kudos. And look, as much as people complained about the storyline with Lana, she did the same thing. She annoyed a lot of people. And if that's what they were going for there, then she absolutely did her job. Sincere Meter said, Bayley's obnoxious to me and she's doing a great job as a heel. She's making me feel that way. I just hope she can evolve her heel persona more than just keep being annoying as her entire character. Fair enough. And we shall see. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Days Fan says, I love King Corbin. So there you go. You're not the only one.
Yes.
General Snotty Naughty, I love that name, says, ugh, King Boring. Corbin for life, says Shane Barrett. Look, that's great counterpoint. I agree, Jeff. Can't really say much there. Great point. If that's what they're supposed to do, then they are doing their job. So
I would like to see her on her own without the crutch of Sasha Banks.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously they're building up to that. I mean, again, this is a long, slow burn. I think people are just, and maybe a little bit on my own part too, I can say this, is that, I just want this thing with her and Sasha to come to a head already and to happen maybe. And maybe that's why it's getting on my nerves a bit, because it's just a slow burn with this. And that a lot of things could have changed, similar to the Hacker storyline, and things are just changing constantly because of circumstances. So that could be why, but yeah. Moving on, shall we? And we're just going to go over this one for like 3 minutes because that's about all it deserves. Apollo against MVP. So never happened.
That don't even deserve any FaceTime.
Never happened, guys. Apollo was not there, I guess. Never really got the story other than the fact that Bobby Lashley threw him in a full Nelson, and I guess that's the story. I mean, that's what I understood. Something happened where Apollo forfeited the match, and MVP went and grabbed the title and walked out with the title and said, basically, as a forfeit, he is now the owner of the title. So
I would have rather seen the bar match than that one.
Yeah, we just got nothing here. I don't know. I wonder about Apollo too. I like the guy as a wrestler. I really do. And, obviously when he won the title, I was happy for him that he won it. Finally getting some recognition and a little bit of a push. But then, it just always seems like when he gets something like that, something like this happens. And it almost is, 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It goes a little bit forward, getting a little bit of a push, and then something happens, and it just gets him right back down where he was. And I don't know.
It's not fair to him at all.
No, it's not. I mean, we don't. Again, I'm not going to insinuate. I'm not going to speculate at what the circumstances were. We don't know. Maybe something happened with Apollo, with his family, whatever the case might be. Maybe it was a COVID test. I don't know. And I'm not going to speculate on that because no one knows. Maybe we'll find that out at some point. But whatever the case might be, MVP looks like he's going to be the champion again. We don't know if that's true or if this is just going to be a continuation and they're just going to say, no, you didn't actually win the championship. So we're going to put it up for, I don't know. We're gonna put it up in a tournament type thing or something like that down the road. We'll see. John says, see, you guys can't stay. Have to go eat something. I'm hungry. Yep. Very good reason to leave, my friend. Go right ahead. Dalton said the bar match is Friday. Yes, that's on SmackDown this coming Friday. Absolutely. Chalmers saying people said Apollo has COVID-19. I hope not. For his sake and his family's sake. That is a rumor, but obviously, listen, don't listen to rumors because obviously we know what happens there. That gets out there and you just don't know if it's true or not. So I hope not. I hope that's not the case. But obviously a no contest here, no match. So we don't need to spend any more time on this one. Let's move along, shall we, to the New Day. And Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. This kicked off the show. Obviously, the Kevin Owens match versus Murphy was on the pre-show. Good match also, Kevin Owens and Murphy. But I'll be honest, I like this one. This one was a really entertaining match. Loved the energy between the two teams. Obviously, this was a tables match. Tables matches are always crazy. And of course, I really liked the result. I thought we were just going to get another New Day win here. There were several times when it looked like New Day was going to come out on top. But of course, it was Shinsuke and Cesaro that prevailed, putting Kofi Kingston through the double tables. And yeah, I really enjoyed this match. Jeff, what did you think? I really liked this tag team match.
I really enjoyed it. And honestly, two of my favorite guys now have the tag team championships. Obviously with Cesaro, we always say it on this show, give the man some hardware. And even if it had to come as the tag team championships, I'm happy about that. And then the same thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, every couple weeks or so, I go back and I watch his debut on SmackDown and the pop that he got then coming out there. And then I think about Shinsuke now and I'm like, oh my gosh, they have really just screwed this up with him. He's an amazing talent. Well, I'm glad to see some hardware back on him now too. So really, really good match. I was looking at the facial expressions at the end, and Big E's face said a lot. So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that on Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. And if you guys listen to our show, you're probably knowing what we're alluding to. Yeah, Jodie, what'd you think of the tag team match? I thought it was, people are saying good pace. I thought it was a good pace. I thought it was a good way to start off a show. What you want to start off a pay-per-view is you want to see, the action, the energy right off the bat. And I thought we got that out of this.
Yeah. I was definitely not expecting the result that we got. I am really, really partial to Cesaro when he was with Sheamus in the bar. They were one of my favorite tag teams of all time. I absolutely love them. So I miss seeing them together, but I'm 100% happy for Cesaro. He's been a workhorse for a really long time and he's a really good guy. And, definitely happy for him that he's gotten some hardware now. So,
Yes.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the result I was expecting, but it was a good match.
Yeah. And obviously, guys, when you saw the double tables, I'm sure, like me, you knew someone was going through those double tables. It was only a matter of time. They kept teasing it with the ring, when they were up on the ring post. But you knew someone was going through those double tables. C Wrestling says, "Yowie, wowie, hello to you, man. Welcome to the show." What else we got? I feel Big E going heel, says Eric Haberman.
I think we'll talk about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think we probably will. Yes. Really surprised that Cesaro Nakamura won, even though I loved all the wrestlers here, but I wasn't expecting to win like you. Yeah, I am too. I really was surprised that they gave them the titles here. So, but again, a very entertaining match. Very, very cool way to start the show. And I thought they had energy all through it. And like I said, I like, again, like Jeff said too, I like Cesaro. This man has put in his dues. And whenever he can get some gold around his waist is a good thing. And also Shinsuke Nakamura, I agree with Jeff as well. Kind of a little bit of a wasted opportunity maybe for him, in recent months and stuff like that. And good to see him getting back up on top again as well, even if it is the tag team division. So yes, I agree with you all on those points, and I agree with you on the results of the match. Loved it. Right, so let's go to the other women's match, shall we? Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Now,
I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm probably going to use some colorful language during this one.
I loved the match up until the end. Jim Gore is here. Welcome, Jim. He says WWE making too much money on New Day merch to break them up. Yeah, that could very well be. They probably are. New Day is huge, huge for merch. Moda has joined us again. Hello.
Welcome back.
We saw you early on. I think you were the first one in the stream. Welcome into the show. But yes, so getting to this match was fantastic. It was a really, really great match. We didn't see a lot of interference from the outside. I kind of thought we might until kind of more towards the end. But this was a fantastic match. Both of them going back and forth. I know Jodie mentioned a little bit earlier about Sasha's, Sasha as an athlete and showing showing her talents, and obviously Asuka showing her talents, two completely different styles. But I was really happy with this match. Now, Callan Corner has joined us. Welcome, Jesse. The ending just boggled my mind. I mean, I get it that, you have to, obviously with the two of them out there, you're always going to have that the promise of interference of some kind by either one of them, whether it's Sasha or whether it's Bayley. But the finish we got, where, the referee gets the green mist, the referee's down. So obviously, yes, at that point, that what's going to happen. You know what's coming. And that there's going to be shenanigans going on. Kyrie was down on the other side of the ring, so she was going to be no factor. But then, when you got the ending that you did, where, Asuka's down and obviously the Bayley goes out, grabs the official's shirt, puts the official shirt on, goes out, yells at the timekeeper and says, "Ring the bell." The timekeeper looks like he's horrified and rings the bell. And then Sasha thinks she won, which, listen, Sasha's been wrestling for a long, long time, right? She's not a rookie. She's not brand new to the sport. So I think you kind of know that Bayley being dressed in an official shirt does not count as an official referee counting three. I think, I think, and obviously, Bayley was, Big Boy said, imagine she secretly signed on to be a ref. I don't know, man. Look, so obviously this did not count. And it's not going to count. They're going to take the belt off of her, I would imagine, and give it back to Asuka. But I don't know. I just don't get it. I didn't like the ending at all. And again, like I said, this might be a bit of a theme here, but I didn't like the ending to this at all. Felt just like a cheat ending, like a cop out. Again, maybe this is going to go on to Extreme Rules now. We're going to have a rematch. No, I'm sorry, at SummerSlam. Are we going to get a rematch of Sasha and Asuka at SummerSlam? And maybe that's why they did it this way. I don't know. But I just hated the ending. It was very cheap ending to me to what was a good match. to what was a good match, which is a shame. And like I said, we said this earlier, you know, when you have a great match between two athletes, it's just, you know, you don't like to see an ending like that. You just don't like to see an ending like that. Jeff, what'd you think, man?
I'm gonna keep this real short and sweet. This is like going to a really expensive restaurant and getting a just an amazing appetizer, and then you order the steak for your entree, and they bring you out like a $2 steak that's tough as nails, that you can barely even chew. This was a great thing all the way up until the very end, and then that finish was just stupid. Like there are plenty of other words that I could use, but I'm gonna save that for when Jodie starts talking, because I think she's gonna take up our allotment of curse words that we can use. Um, but no, but no, it was a terrible finish to a great match. I mean, they put on a great match, and they just ruined the whole thing by such a dumb finish. I mean, maybe I need to go put on a NFL jersey so I can be a NFL player, because that's apparently what happens now. You put on the shirt, and then you automatically assume the role of whatever shirt you're wearing. So maybe I can just go get an NFL jersey so I can make millions of dollars. But yeah, I'm done now. I really want to hear what Jodie has to say.
Let's all do that. Isn't that a fun thing? Let's all do that. I'm gonna get some armor and some high heeled boots, and I'm gonna pretend I'm Gene Simmons, and I'm just gonna go on a stage and I'm gonna pretend I'm in Kiss. I'm gonna put some really makeup on my face, and let's all do that. Let's all do
shit that we're not qualified to do.
Yeah, why not have Halloween that way? Why pretend that you're going to be somebody else? When you can be somebody else. There you go. Who knew? All you have to do is put on put on a costume, put on a shirt, and you can be whatever it is you want. That's all it takes. You don't need to be. You don't need
an outfit change.
You don't need to get education. You don't need to go to school. You don't need any of that. You just need to put on a different outfit, and you're whatever you want to be. If I want to be,
you guys just need to put on a pair of scrubs, and you can come do my job.
See, if I want to be a good humor ice cream man, I'm just gonna go buy a good humor shirt. I'm just gonna walk around and give out fudgesicles all day. There you go. There you go. Why not? Why not? Dave says Asuka should have. That's a good point. Dave in real life says Asuka would or should have been DQ'd for spitting green mist in the ref's face. Yeah. Look, I mean, obviously it was an accident, but at that point the referee would not have seen that. So, good point. And maybe she should have been disqualified, and that would have been a better ending than we got. Absolutely. So go ahead, Jodie. It's all yours.
I really like Jeff's comparison there. You got a great appetizer and a really shitty steak.
Yep.
And I'm going to get on my soapbox here for just a minute. If coronavirus is so scary, why the hell are they letting Asuka spit in somebody's face? That's my first point. I liked it because it was great. But if this is such a big deal, why are they continuing to let things like that happen? Why are people not having a shit fit over the fact that she just spit in somebody's face? Unprotected, no mask, no eye coverings, nothing. Anyway, that's my first little point there. That's my soapbox. I'm going to come off of it now. Great match. Obviously, Asuka and Sasha Banks are two of the most amazing athletes in the WWE. They are two of my absolute favorite. Even if you count the men, they're two of my favorite people in WWE. They're both fantastic. They're both amazing athletes. It was a fantastic match, and you got a shitty ending. And if they let this stick, I feel heartbroken for Asuka. That's how you take the title off of her, by having somebody that's not qualified to be a ref put a shirt on and call that match. That was the dumbest, shitty ending I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's right up there. It's right up there. I agree. It's right up there. Chris made a comment. Joe brought up high heels, and I was like, it's going to be a breaking news stream. No, I meant platform heels, platform boots, but no, get that. Thanks, Chris. We needed some humor there.
That for Jodie to say that was the worst ending ever, you have to take into account that she is a huge Fiend fan, and she saw that debacle in Saudi Arabia. So
good call. Good call. Yeah, she saw the Goldberg. Yes.
We don't mention that name anymore. I've nicknamed him as Jill. His name is Jill now because of that Jillberg. But yeah, that was worse than that.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. You heard it here first. Moda says, what did Moda say? Bailey and Sasha shenanigans remind me of Benny Hill. Should we play the music when they do stuff? That'd be funny. That'd be funny. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be funny.
I just feel for Asuka. If they let that stick, that is oh my gosh, that is the biggest injustice ever. Yeah, any other way you could take that title off of her, like what you said, she could have been DQ'd for spitting in the ref's face. Yeah. Anything else but Bailey interfering and taking that title from her, it's just dumb.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I can't possibly see that they'll let this stand. Dalton Riley says this match has Vince written all over it. You mean Vince going, this is some good shit? You mean that?
Vince is on. Well, we all know that Vince is on crack. So,
yeah, that could be. Maybe Vince had his hands on this one a little bit. Who knows?
He also probably has Alzheimer's. So.
Asuka hasn't been booked strong as a champion. Every defense she's had has not had a clean victory, and then this happened to her. Austin 316.
It's sad.
Yeah. You know what? I agree.
She's so good, and I adore Asuka, and I adore Sasha Banks. But to take this away from Asuka that way is just wrong.
I agree. You're right. She hasn't been booked very strong. I agree. And look, I think they're doing the same thing off topic. I think they're doing the same thing to Io Shirai. People are making comments about that too. She hasn't been booked strong either. I agree. I think, look, and I've said this before, I think they're missing their top dogs. I think they're missing Charlotte, and I think they're missing Becky Lynch. And I kind of think
if you put them in, Asuka is still strong against them.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree, but I agree. I don't think she has looked strong. I completely agree. Shane says the ref could have screwed her over due to spitting in her face. Maybe, yeah. DJ B Tazzy says Vince is laughing backstage. Yeah. Well, we've heard he's done that before. Saying back there that, this is what they want to see. Yeah, could very well be. Oh boy. Well, yeah. This one was a bad ending. I wholeheartedly agree. Very, very, very bad ending. Disrespectful ending, said David Hare. Yes. I completely agree. All right. So I believe we're on to the Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre match. So we knew that this was going to get stipulations. We did not know what the stipulations were going to be. And obviously when we got to the ring, Dolph came down and Dolph said, I was thinking it was going to be no Claymore, which I think would have been cool. Mm-hmm. But obviously they said that Dolph was only going to be able to use Extreme Rules and not Drew. And Dolph also said that Drew could get counted out of the match and still lose the title. So those were the stipulations for this match. Again, I thought this was a very good match. I am a fan of Dolph Ziggler. I like what this guy does. Again, he's another guy that was a lot like Cesaro. He comes in, he does his job. He's a guy you love to hate. He gets the faces over, and this is what Dolph does. This is what Dolph has been doing. He just seems like he's the guy that just goes in, does what they ask him to do, and just does it well. And again, he did that in this. And Dolph, man, I'll tell you, Dolph looked good in this match. he really looked good. Drew had him. They had this coordinated. You could tell that these guys know each other pretty well. Dolph really looked good. He got off a lot of offense in this match. Really had, Drew down at the end, but then all of a sudden comes up and out of nowhere. We're going to have to start calling it a Claymore out of nowhere. Because he's kind of been doing that a lot. Claymore kick right out of nowhere and obviously wins the match. And I marked out when I heard him Dolph say, "Why won't you die?" Which is amazing because that is a horror line, obviously, from Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis, famous for saying that, "Why won't you die?" I've heard that more than once in slasher movies. Friday the 13th, obviously, as well. So kudos to Dolph. I actually sent him a message on Twitter from our insiders' Twitter saying, "Hey, man, love the "Why won't you die" line." But again, we knew that this was going to be the case. We knew Dolph was not going to win this match. And of course he did not. But I'll tell you, it was an entertaining match. I enjoyed this match a lot. I thought it was good. It went longer than I thought it was going to go as well. So obviously this is probably a filler match. We won't probably see any sort of rematch with it. It's going to be the end of the feud, and Drew is going to move on to some bigger and better things, which again, we will talk about on our podcast on Wednesday, because we got some ideas on where Drew is headed, and we'll see. Well, actually, may as well mention it now because we won't talk to you guys until after Monday Night Raw. But I think that I think Drew is going to come in and Drew is going to save Big Show from getting punted on Monday, and I think he's gonna go on to feud with Randy Orton. That's what I think is going to happen. So, Jeff, what did you think of the Drew and Dolph match?
Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit critical of this match. I really enjoyed the match. I absolutely love Dolph Ziggler because he's phenomenal, and he's always selling well for everyone that he's in the ring with and does such a great job. The only thing that kind of bothered me about this match was the fact that Drew at this point is booked so powerfully that he took all the punishment that he took tonight, and most of that would have kept everyone down, but not Drew. We've seen that happen in other matches where he's getting he's getting pummeled, or he gets hit with someone's finisher and he pops out of the cover at 1, not even a 2 count for some of these things. So I just want people to understand, with him being booked this powerful, they're going to have a really difficult time when the time comes to take the belt off of him, because who are you going to get to beat him? True. What are they going to have to do to keep him down? So I'd like to see them just kind of pull that back just a tad and make it, look a little more believable at this point. But I thought it was a great match up until that point where you're just like, my goodness, does Dolph have to, park a car on him? And would he still kick out at 2? If the car was parked on, it really just you have to be cautious when you come to booking some of these things, because it just looks, very weird, and it makes it difficult when there's a change that needs to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think obviously if they book him against Randy, you kind of can't treat it that way. You can't have Randy Orton give him, 3 RKOs and it doesn't do anything to him. So I agree. Yeah, Dolph used how many finishers tonight on him? Ricky Hall joined us. Ricky says DZ does need a title for all his hard work. He needs to work for a company that's he's appreciated. He should go to AEW or NWA. He's a workhorse. Yeah, he is. Ricky also said above that he did not like this pay-per-view at all. Said it was one of the worst pay-per-views he's ever seen. So there you go. Best match, highly deserved win was Cesaro and Shinsuke winning the tag titles. Yeah. Moda says, Jeff, we don't need another Super Cena. Look, yeah, I agree. Drew is obviously, he is being booked this way. You can see that. He's kicking out of everyone's finishers, so he is being booked like Superman. And, look, guys, I'm sure there's a lot of Drew fans out there. But to be fair, Roman Reigns got a lot of heat for this same exact thing. They booked him a lot like Superman. And I don't know, maybe this is just a pattern that Vince is doing now with his champs. Is just making him look like Superman, that he's just gonna shrug off every single finisher and all that kind of stuff. Roman was kind of doing the same thing too, and of course Brock. So I don't know. Maybe this is just what is happening here with their champions, and maybe that's how they're booking them. I don't know, but yeah, no, I agree. Jodie, what did you think?
I mean, look, we all know that Vince has an orgasm over certain kinds of wrestlers. People like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins for a while, and now apparently Drew McIntyre. But Drew McIntyre is fantastic at what he does. He's an amazing athlete too. And, if you're going down the route of they're making him look indestructible, if you're going to put him up against Randy Orton next, you need someone that's like that. You need someone that can kick out of really, out of finishers, out of, 2 or 3 times. Because when you go up against Randy Orton, you got to have your wits about you. You got to know what the fuck you're doing, because going up against Randy Orton is no joke. And, if you don't count that shitberg match in Saudi Arabia, he was doing the same thing with The Fiend. The Fiend has come out as indestructible and won every match that he's come out as. He's come out as that kind of character too. But, and that's okay for The Fiend, and nobody really says anything about it. But this poster child, this second coming of Roman Reigns, since Roman Reigns is there, he's kind of taken up that title, I guess, with Roman not being there. But I really like Drew McIntyre. I thought it was a really good match. Dolph is really good at what he does as well. Everybody's totally right. He's a workhorse. You tell him to jump, he'll say how high, what do you want me to do? And he does it. And there's definitely something to be said for that. But I thought it was a really good match, and I was not surprised by the stipulations. I thought Drew would do as much as he could to turn it into his favor. But I knew the second he got that Claymore kick in, it was over.
Yep. Obviously, yeah. The Claymore is a one finish thing, and when he uses that Claymore, he's that's it. That usually ends it right there. So absolutely.
But if you're gonna have him come up against Randy Orton next, you have to make Drew look as strong as possible. Yeah.
I mean, I agree. And Randy, look. Randy, that's going to be a whole different ball game, because they're already the rumors are already out there for Randy Orton and Drew. It's been out there for a little while. If that is the case, a lot of people are even saying that Randy's going to take the title off of him. Because they're saying that they would rather have Drew maybe win it back again. They're talking about when crowds are in the house and stuff like that, that they might win it, that he might win it back when that happens. So,
but you know what? Follow that out, okay? Randy takes the title off of Drew. Who's got the biggest beef with Randy Orton right now? Bray. So take him away from the SmackDown picture and that title with Braun Strowman, and you could put him in the title picture for the title against Randy Orton. Randy took his title, and it was that title at WrestleMania. So if you wanted that redemption story, what a better way to get it than Randy gets that title and Bray takes it away from him.
Yeah, let's save that for Abby's, Jody. Don't go into too much Bray theory here.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah, let's just well, look, I think Randy and Drew could be a long drawn out feud if they wanted to be, and I don't think. I mean, we've talked about that before too. I don't think that if they're gonna have Bray wrestle Randy, that's gonna be a WrestleMania match, and I think
absolutely.
I think that would go to next year at some point. So,
but it could be that title and not the SmackDown title.
Could be. Yeah, could be. Well, being that we're talking about Bray, I know you've all waited for this. So let's get into that match a little bit now, shall we? Let's get into what was the main event of the show, which kind of...
And rightly so.
Everybody kind of thought that was going to be the case. I mean, it was booked as the horror show, so obviously, they were kind of looking at this as what was going to be the main event of the match was going to be the primary event here. So yes, we got the fully cinematic match here. I would say it went about 20 some odd minutes. By the way, just so you guys know, there were leaks.
Too damn short.
Yeah. Well, we can't have Bray wrestle for 2 hours, Jody. The guy's got to get home, and but yeah, there were some leaked photos, I guess, a few days ago that C Wrestling got that showed some pictures of behind the scenes of filming. And we got the rocking chair in the photo, so obviously those pictures were real. Whoever sent them to him obviously had some behind the scenes pictures of the swamp match. So yes, again, we're not going to go into a tremendous amount of detail here because we're going to save a lot of this for tomorrow. Dalton Riley says he thinks he knows who Sister Abigail is. Please do not say it's Alexa Bliss. Because we're going to have a whole nother conversation with you if you do.
He said Sister Abigail is me.
Okay. Yeah, let's just not say it's Alexa Bliss because, come on now. We that's I know that's going to be floating around on Twitter. That Alexa is Sister Abigail, which is not the case. Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see her obviously playing that role. It was neat to see somebody finally kind of a physical manifestation of that. But starting at the beginning, where you saw the puppets being manifested in real life when you opened up going in and you saw the rabbit, you saw the boar running, and you saw the buzzard. So obviously the manifestations of the puppets were all there. And then you get right to the match. And again, not going to go through this. I liked the match. We've got people out there saying that it was better than your Boneyard match. I don't agree with that. I'm not going to go there. The Boneyard match to me is an amazing match, and I'm not going to go there. This was good, but it's not Boneyard good. But the only thing I liked it. I liked how they went through it. I liked, of course, they were telling a story. Bray playing the mind games. Braun gets chained up inside. Bray's talking to him. What I really liked was the psychological elements where Bray was saying about him being captured and not able to get not able to come out of his own body. I love that. Very psychological, the multiple personality thing where that he buried that personality essentially and he was dead. Like that as well. So I loved all that. And then the only thing the thing I didn't understand was the guys that were attacking Braun, but I guess it could have been looked at as being Rowan and Harper, maybe. The other two guys that obviously, Harper not there anymore. Rowan may not be there anymore. So the two guys that were in the Wyatt family, maybe that was supposed to be them attacking him out there. That could have been that. Then you got to the two of them. You got to the scene with the boat where obviously, Bray gets knocked out in the boat. He sends the boat off down the way. All of a sudden, Braun's kind of sitting there, and then the boat's coming back. And then the next thing boom, he gets drawn into the water. Look, that stuff again. I kind of had said that. I was like, I wanted to see him get pulled into the water. I wanted to see him get pulled in the water by the Fiend. That didn't happen. But
we got something better.
He did get pulled into the water. and stuff like that. So, you know, that thing kind of came true. They got horror imagery from it. They used a lot of that stuff with the water. So I dug all of that. I did, like I said, I did enjoy the match. I liked the match. I liked the imagery. I liked all of the things in it. There was nothing about it I did not like. Like I said, if I had to rate it, I would say the match was an 8 out of 10. Of course, the ending is what everyone was waiting for. Obviously, we got a Fiend sighting, which we have not had in quite some time. So we got a Fiend sighting. I'm going to talk personally, that's all I'm going to really say about it, because I'm going to talk more on Abby's tomorrow about what my thoughts are. The thought I will leave you guys with about this match is this: Bray Wyatt as a wrestler and the Fiend as a wrestler. Okay, Bray did the Funhouse match with Braun, yes. The Fiend has not wrestled in I can't tell you how long. Daniel Bryan was the last time we've seen the Fiend actually wrestle a match. Of course, the Funhouse match was not a match. So it has been a long time since the Fiend has wrestled. Are we actually going to see a match? A match. Now, I'm not talking cinematic. I'm talking a match. Are we going to see a match inside of a ring with the Fiend at SummerSlam? Because I don't think so. And I'll tell you guys why tomorrow on Abby's, but I don't think so. So I'll go into more details on that. So, Jeff, what did you think of the Swamp match?
I'm going to reserve a lot of my further comments for tomorrow, but what I will say is it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
The way it was shot, the different Easter eggs that we got throughout the match,
Mm-hmm.
the storytelling, and that's what I know. Some people will look at this and say, "Well, man, you know, Bray really didn't even wrestle that much. He didn't get that physical." This is all about story. This is all about building up the story, going in depth with it, and then getting an outcome. That outcome will come later, but in order for us to get there, we have to show some patience as fans. So if there are people out there that didn't like it, I would challenge you to go back and watch it, and don't think about it from a wrestling match. Who got the win? Who got the 1, 2, 3? Don't think about it from that perspective. Think about it almost like one of your favorite TV shows. You're going through all of these different episodes of Bray Wyatt that's eventually going to lead to a season finale.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to that point, then you'll see why all the episodes that took place before then actually make sense at the end, because that's when you're going to get the big reveal. So I'm not going to go any further than that. I'll just say that I thought it was a great match. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the imagery, and I really enjoyed the callbacks to horror movies.
Yeah. No, I'm like I said, I liked everything about it. I liked the psychology behind it. I liked the imagery. Obviously, Alexa Bliss was a shocker to everyone. I heard a few people were screaming when they saw Alexa Bliss. Chris said, I hated this match. Both of Bray's cinematic matches have been a fail to me, and that's just my man. Listen, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. That's why we're all here. People can call it how they see it, and we respect everybody's opinion. So, let's see. Jesse was threatening to time him out. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Eric Haberman said loved it, loved everything about it. Big Boy says great comparison. Dalton says I feel like we're going to be in for a massive surprise at the end of all this. Braun versus the Fiend, SummerSlam, whether it's a match or cinematic doesn't matter as long as we get it. Yeah, I'm sure that's where it's leading to. No doubt. No doubt. So, Jodie, again, save as much as you can for tomorrow. We've got a show to fill, which we will be certainly discussing this match in detail tomorrow. So don't forget to join us tomorrow for Abby's Window at 6 Eastern. It has been a long time since we had some stuff to really dive into and talk about, and we will definitely be doing that tomorrow. So don't forget to join us for that. But go ahead, Jodie.
I'm going to get on my soapbox for a moment again. I've seen a lot of comments in our Facebook group and on Twitter and social media and things like that, that the biggest talking point from this match was Alexa Bliss, and that is just sad. That is not giving credit to the genius fucking mastermind that Bray Wyatt is. You have to think about this as long-term storytelling. Yes, the Alexa part was great. It was fantastic. I screamed because I was like, holy shit. Alexa Bliss is portraying Abigail in this match. It was fantastic. It was awesome. But the big talking point from this match should be the genius that Bray Wyatt is. And that's what he's so good at, is telling these long stories and really getting you to it challenges your mind, and you're going to go back and watch this 4, 5, 6 different times and see different things every time. And that's why he's so good at what he does. He's so good at these long stories. And just like, you guys said about, think about it as your favorite TV show. Every episode builds up to a bigger picture. You have to think about the bigger picture. I think that Alexa showed up to play mind games with Braun Strowman because, they have a history with each other, and Bray really played on that. I don't think that she's going to be a long-term Abigail. I think that you have to remember that Abigail is a spirit. She's an entity that can inhabit whoever she wants. I'll leave it there. The match was amazing. Absolutely pure poetry. It was fantastic. And I called it, that we were going to see the Fiend at the end of that match, and that's exactly what we got. They both got pulled into the water, and the Fiend emerges. You really didn't get a clear winner, just like kind of what everybody said. But all we saw at the end was the Fiend emerge from the swamp and laughing, and it was freaking beautiful.
I love this comment. Moda says Alexa Bliss is Braun Strowman's Abigail. Yes. I think it's a different person for everyone. That's a great shout. That's a great shout. That's a really great shout.
I said that in our admin chat. I have a chat on Facebook with all the other admins from the Facebook group, the Firefly Funhouse fan group on Facebook, and that's exactly what I said. I said, that's how Braun sees Abby.
Yeah.
Is Alexa Bliss. And please don't let Alexa Bliss be the talking point of this match, because that's not fair to Bray. It's just not.
Well, and in the same lines, I don't think it's fair to Alexa either, because Alexa was probably just around, and they probably needed somebody to play that part. And rather than have to go out and get an actress or somebody like that who would obviously then get mobbed online on Twitter and saying, "My God, who is this person playing Abby?"
It made sense.
Yeah,
her and Braun have a long history together. Right. And Bray knew that was going to mess with his head. So that's exactly what he did. And it was beautiful.
Yep. And let's talk a little bit about a snake. And I'm saving that for tomorrow too, because I'm going to tell you guys what I think about the snake thing too, because that's another whole road we can go down. But listen, like somebody said that Bray's creative, or Bray is better than all the creative. Man. Look, we did hear rumors before this match that
Vince was not involved.
Right. Vince wasn't involved in it much.
Yep.
We heard a lot of things going on before. We said they filmed it just recently. I think it was just filmed a day or two ago. And it took them 6 or 7 hours to film it.
Yep.
We're getting some storyline about this match coming out. Look,
100% it's going to be the Fiend versus Braun at SummerSlam. 100%.
Yeah. It's leading that way. And of course, if it goes by rumor again too, the rumor is that someone was going to be dragged underwater.
They both got dragged underwater.
Right. And then they said someone is going to disappear from TV. So if that's the case, then maybe Braun's the one now that's not going to be on TV for a little while.
Maybe it's cult leader Bray that's not going to be on TV for a while.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards Braun with that, but again, not going to give too much of that away, because
Braun has the title. He can't not be on TV.
Yeah, he can. They can. They can. It's only a couple week period, whatever the case might be. They can do away with it for a little while, but we'll see. We shall see. We've got a whole bunch to talk to you guys about tomorrow. Obviously.
Yes, we will delve into this tomorrow.
Yes. We're gonna reserve everything
the snake
for
and yeah.
Yep. We're gonna reserve everything for that tomorrow.
Because I got tons to say about it, but I'm trying to hold myself back. Just please don't let Alexa Bliss be the talking point of this match, because it was so much more than that.
The mind games were clear and present throughout the matchup. Wyndham Rotunda is pure genius, says Dave in real life. I loved every minute of the Swamp match, says Sean Rousset. So what did you guys think of the pay-per-view? Let us know in the comments before we let you guys get out of here. Again, I know that our friend DJB Tazzy's got a show coming up very soon in a few minutes. So we will get out of here. If you would like to continue the discussion, go and join DJ's show. He has not been on for a little while. So go ahead and enjoy that over on his channel. So let us know what you thought of the pay-per-view. As always, comment on our on the video on the YouTube page. Let us know what you thought. Final thoughts, guys. Final thoughts, Jeff, and then we'll go over to Jodie, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I thought it was a good pay-per-view. Some of the endings were a little bit screwy, and I didn't like that part about it. But yeah, I thought overall, I mean, we got some horror elements. We actually found out why they called it the horror show at Extreme Rules. And I think a lot of that has to go to Bray Wyatt and his creative mind. But then we also got the eye for an eye match. And then I felt like the Dolph Ziggler Drew McIntyre match was kind of like a horror movie in and of itself. Keep doing all these things to this one guy, and he just won't go anywhere. Why won't you die? Why won't you die? So I think we got a good pay-per-view. I was very disappointed to not see Apollo Crews and MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was I absolutely hated the explanation that was given. So because it just continues to make a champion look weak, in my opinion. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I won't get into comparisons. I'll just say that I got really spoiled last night. So I'll say that this one wasn't quite at the level of something else, but yeah, I thought it was good though.
Anytime you can get 2 pay-per-views in a weekend, it's a win. It's a win for fans. Dave in real life, that Chris was saying the horror show was the match ending. Yes.
Jesse, save your theories for tomorrow.
Also, I think we had a comment about, oh my goodness, who said it? Dave in real life said something and I missed it. Oh, well. I'll be doing a video review tomorrow on my channel. There you go. Good job, Dave.
He said Brock was champ and was never on TV. We're not going to go there.
That's the comment that I was looking for. Yes.
We're not going to go there.
Yes. There you go. There you go. Jodie, what'd you think of the pay-per-view? And we'll get everybody out of here.
I think overall it was pretty good. Like, I actually agree with Chris that the horror show was the match endings. There were some great matches until the finishers, and then it just got really stupid. I think the Swamp match definitely redeemed the show, and I'm really, really happy that it was the main event because it deserved to be. And yeah, overall it was a decent pay-per-view.
Yep, I agree. So, guys, look, it was a big weekend for us, and we still have more to come. Obviously, tomorrow we will follow up on this match with you guys on Abby's Window at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Time. We have our normal podcast on Wednesday at 10:15, and then we have an interview with Wrestling Days on Thursday as well. So that one is going to be a live interview. A lot of times we do our interviews recorded ahead of time. We are going to do a live interview with Days this coming Thursday. So again, another busy week for us. Oh, man, I almost forgot. Tuesday, you guys asked for it. After last night's Slammiversary, you guys have asked us to stream Impact. We are going to do that. So Tuesday night, be with us here, and we are going to stream Impact Wrestling for you guys. A lot of you asked for it, so we are going to oblige, and we are going to do that for you. So That's it, guys.
Thursday's going to be tons of fun.
Yes, Thursday will be fun as well with the Days interview, and a lot of fun. I know I have a contest out there. If you guys haven't seen it on Twitter, if you want to ask questions, go ahead and do the things that I asked you to do, and you could be called upon in that interview to come on and ask Days some questions. So the one who already gets a question, by the way, too, and I'll let everybody know is Days fan, because of the whole prize thing from last time, and you know he didn't get the prize from Jodie's contest because of certain circumstances and things. So I told Days fan he could ask a question, so he will get the first question on that show with Wrestling Days. So that is it. Really appreciate you joining us tonight, and we will talk to you guys all tomorrow at 6 p.m. for Abby's window. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. We will talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.